reverse retro prediction by
Yeah.
Ali Muri.
Yep.
What did you think of these? Because I think this was pretty close to what was being predicted
Yeah.
and kind of estimated as what these things would look like.
Yeah. So I'm looking at them right now, and the account that tweeted out Ali, he's been on the money. He did the same thing for the Sharks' current home uniforms this summer. He nailed the Vegas Golden Knights reverse retro that was confirmed. He nailed another jersey. I'm trying to. Oh, he I believe nailed the Hurricanes switching to the black uniforms as their permanent home jerseys for this season. Um, so he's been pretty on the money with these things. Now, his mock-up of the reverse retro has orange numbers, and the only difference so far that has been confirmed is, and he actually confirmed it because he tweeted out the palette, is white numbers. Um, so it's basically it's what we thought it was going to be. It's the in Islander colors. It's
Aesthetics
the
also
reverse retro.
tweeted out some stuff too.
I
There was also
believe
like
it
the
was.
numbers.
I believe it was from him. I think they just confirmed it, like looked into it and used his material and said, this is happening.
Right. With the white numbers and letters. But they don't say
Yes,
what the
yes.
source is.
Oh, they didn't.
No,
Okay,
they
yeah, because
said
I'm pretty sure.
they said these images were sent to Aesthetics in July by a source who requested I not publish, but since the same images are now being shared elsewhere, that might be Ollie's account. That request seems no longer valid. So it does have the white letters and then the white numbers with the orange around it.
Right.
We also tweeted that out, so you can kind of look back through our timeline. But do you like them? What, even without the
So
teal?
yeah, I don't hate them. I think that it was fun to do this, and if this is indeed it's fun, and it's much in the spirit of the thing. It's much better than the verse retro ones which were basically just recolored home jerseys. Um,
Which
so
were nice,
I
just
don't
not
mind it.
the spirit of it.
Yeah, I think with the white letters and numbers, it's gonna pop more.
I could agree with that. I do like this. I think it's different, obviously than the original. You're leaning more into your current or a more modern looking color palette, I guess. I don't. We'll have to see in person what the blues look like and how different they are. If this is maybe closer to the early 2000s blue, or is it closer to what the blue was at the time? I don't mind it without the teal. It's definitely in the spirit of the entire thing. Interestingly enough, um, I don't love the shoulder patches as much as I love the lighthouse. I think it would look cleaner without them. So I
Yeah,
want to see it in person. Like I do like mine. Like I like what they did at the time, but if there's ever a time to like kind of make some adjustments, like what would you have done differently if you designed this today and used the basic concept? Maybe take those off. I think as a secondary logo, I understand what they were doing because they made hats with this stuff. I had one when I was a kid. I lost it. I'm so mad still. There's a picture of me when I was like very little with it. Um,
I think they sell
but
them
I think
now.
it would. Yeah, they do. I have one. It's just not the same. Like I like having the original stuff. That's why I buy all these ridiculous. If you're watching on YouTube, I watch. I pick up Fisherman gear when I can find it,
Right.
kind of cheap. And the hats. Some of them every once in a while you can get a really good steal. But I like the jerseys. I think it'll look good. I'm interested what the whole getup will look like. Um, and then what if the goalies do something different with the pads or um, things like, or a mask or something like that. I think it'll be really interesting. But I liked it. I think it's just they answered the call finally, and they did it. And
Yeah,
maybe they just did it in an 82 game season on purpose, and they didn't do it last time, knowing that there would be two
could be.
versions of this, where they'll have maybe a couple more opportunities to wear it. They'll get more eyes on it. There'll be more national games, or like whatever the case is. Maybe this was just a better time. Um, so whatever the reason, it's it looks good. I'm definitely I'm definitely for it. Um, Going to the
The one
games.
thing that
Oh,
the
go
the
ahead.
one thing before we go to the games, the one thing that's weird to me is that they no teal on the jersey, minimal teal in the logo, and I don't get it. Right? Are they just trying to break up the orange and blue? Maybe, but it's just weird to see in the logo that there's some of that teal when they probably could have just broke it up with some of the gray. And it's also interesting that there's gray on the shoulders in the wave on the shoulders, but not on the hip area or on the sleeves. So I feel like it's just broken up a little oddly, and the
Interesting.
teal is sprinkled in a little oddly.
I'm trying to pull it up again. I had it and it was pretty easy, and now I don't. There it is. I don't know. I don't want to nitpick it just because it's like it's fine. Yeah, I guess there's gray on the shoulders and not on the wave below. They do sprinkle like just the tiniest bit of teal in the wave on the crust itself, which I think is an interesting touch. But the teal was the thing that made it different. But this is I do want to point out like it's not supposed to be the same thing. Like it's cool that
Yeah,
it's
you're
different.
right.
And I do want to own like I want to own that out loud. It's not supposed to be the same. You're not
You're right.
bastardizing anything. It's going to be different. I think other teams, could they just done an orange version? Yeah. That could have just been that would have been very easy. Maybe this is a little more creative. It kind of speaks to a little bit more like the current color palette, but they sprinkle a little bit of that teal and gray in there, and it's kind of like you know pay the homage to it all. But it's not as easy
Yeah.
as some other teams where they have three colors and one of them isn't white. So like there's very limited options. An orange jersey would have been cool. Like I think fans are constantly saying that. I
Yeah.
don't know. They didn't need to bring back the pumpkin jerseys or someone called them the starfish jerseys or whatever you called them in 2006.
Nasserman Hockey is brought to you by DraftKings. Hey, hockey fans! It's finally time to hit the ice again, and thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you're in for the season of a lifetime. New customers can bet $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets if they win. If you're an Islanders fan, you're excited that Matthew Barzal just signed a long-term extension. With a new contract in hand, why not bet on him to maybe be the MVP of the upcoming 2022-23 season? If that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you'd like. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use promo code THPN, bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game, and get $200 in free bets if they do. That's code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Seven. Um, those orange jerseys, which again I'm nostalgic for, even if they're ridiculous. I'm nostalgic for it. Um, some of them I'm not. Some of them are really really bad. Like that black one that just said Islanders with their numbers were
Yeah.
right in the middle was quite bad. Um, I don't love the Stadium Series jerseys, or they consider them their third jerseys now. I don't enjoy that. I feel like it's very very lazy. There's just nothing to it. It's like if a hockey jersey was in a movie or a cartoon, like that's what would come up. Like that's what someone would draw. It's like just give me a generic thing. Like that's the jersey that would come up. Um, Again, this is, but
I
going back to this, like it's just not supposed to be the same thing.
Yeah, I hear you. The one thing I do like though about the jersey, because I've noticed not every reverse retro is doing it, is they're using the 1990s NHL logo, the orange one, A few other jerseys have the orange 1990s NHL logo as well. And I promise we'll talk about Islander hockey in just a minute. The last thing I want to say here is actually about the Devils reverse retro, because now I cover that team as well, and the Avalanche reverse retro. So I don't know if you saw the Devils one, but they're doing a Devils jersey in Colorado Rockies colors. It's a
I
white
did see
jersey.
that.
Okay, looks super cool. Not gonna lie, really like it. The thing that's
Yeah, that
strange to
looks
me
sick.
The thing that's strange to me is the Rockies are doing the same thing.
The
It's a
Avalanche.
white Rockies. It's a yes, but they're doing a white Rockies jersey. It's the same jersey with like minor differences.
How is that not more of a story? Although I love the Stars one. Oh my god, that jersey's so cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
jersey.
that's really interesting. All right, so I'm seeing that now. Is it the same
It's not
stripes
exactly
and
the same, minor differences, but like still like it's the white base jersey with the same color scheme and a different logo. And it's just so weird to me. Like that you couldn't do something else. Like I don't know, do a purple Nordiques jersey this time, like reverse the reverse retro.
that's weird. I mean, the Devils have and what they may have done. Actually, you know what this is? Here, I'm gonna get this is some deep hockey knowledge here. That is the Kansas City Scouts. That is not the Colorado Rockies. That's
Right,
the
right.
Kansas City
That's what I meant
Scouts.
to say. That's what I meant to say.
The Colorado, they look very,
Very
very
familiar.
similar. They look very similar, but um and I believe the Colorado Rockies are part of what would eventually become the Devils. If you play early 2000s NHL games,
Yeah.
I believe both jerseys were under the ones you can unlock. This is
Yeah.
very nerdy. So as soon as I saw the red on the Devils jersey, it's the Kansas City Scouts jersey. They are really
Yeah, that
close though. That's
they're
not very
very
different. It's even the same. Yeah, it's even the same red and yellow for the most part,
Just
uh,
I
and
want
blue.
complete chaos. I want complete chaos. Wear each team wear this jersey, play each other for a full 60, go to overtime. I want to see chaos.
Yeah, that's really funny. I do love the blue because it's so like that whole thing is just very different for a Devils jersey. That
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
sick. Like the
It looks
the
very good.
Colorado one, if you've been to Colorado, that logo is friggin' everywhere. Like that
Yeah.
color scheme, the whole is it is on every single t-shirt. It is cool. I'll give them that. So like this doesn't look weird to me. Like this looks like a very Colorado thing. That
Yeah,
Devils one is
absolutely.
just like different enough. And I
Well,
love that
that's the
it's not
thing.
just like a green jersey, like,
Yeah.
revert like this is throwing it back to another franchise. I do really enjoy this, but I like the
This is
bright
the
colors.
This is the first time the Devils have well, I should say the second time. The Devils have a different jersey other than the red homes or white aways or the green alternates. They finally did something different with the black jersey, which is super interesting, but they
Yeah.
nailed the marketing on that one. Um this
It
is
wasn't
like
for us. It was for New
Yeah,
Jersey,
and they
right?
super
Like it's
love it
just
there. Like they super embrace it. Even the staff wears hats everywhere. It's hilarious.
oh, it's fantastic.
Um, yeah, it's hilarious. But this is the first New Jersey Devils jersey that's different. For it has the Devils logo on it. Like it's different than anything they've ever had before. So I'm loving this. I wouldn't mind maybe grabbing one for myself and like putting it in a frame or something. Like I love this jersey.
It does look it does look sick. I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of really like 70s and 90s color schemes. Just kind of that like that bright pop. It was just so much more interesting. And then like the late
Yeah.
90s, everyone just got more subdued again, early 2000s. Um, I just think of like the basketball teams, like Detroit Pistons and the Hornets and these like greens and these purples. And there's just like it was just very fun, which is where the Fisherman comes out of. And a couple other ridiculous jerseys in the 90s that, again, we're all nostalgic for. As badly designed as they are, it is way more fun. Like,
Yeah.
this is a lot of teams not taking themselves so seriously and just having fun with something. Again, even the Islanders thing. You can think whatever you want about the Fisherman. It's different, it's fun, it's money for the team. Um, it gets people interested in a unique part of the Islanders' history, albeit a controversial one. Um,
Yeah.
and it's not supposed to be the same thing. So even if you're a traditionalist, which I fall into that category, but I respect the hell out of this. For the
Yeah.
team to have the guts to really just finally do it, even under Lamoriello, like that's interesting, considering he didn't do any of that with the Devils when he was there. I don't know what he did in Toronto. Their jerseys, everyone says like things have changed on them, like the leaf, and I'm like, that's interesting, I guess. That's not really a big move, and every team did something with stripes and the different embroidery, and nothing. There's a lot of things that just weren't entirely interesting in the early 2000s with jerseys when like Reebok took over. Um, but I think it's cool. They embrace a part of their history, and it's
Yeah.
definitely different. They're definitely going to sell a billion of them. Um,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
and then the secondary market for all these jerseys, the original ones, or if you thought they were ridiculous now, there's an Eric Fisho jersey for like $450. I would expect that to go up in the $600 or $700 range. And I remember these jerseys, not even 10 years ago, were less than $100.
Oh yeah, nobody wanted them.
Yeah, I bought one. I found it on Craigslist for like
Nostalgia,
$30.
nostalgia really became mainstream like within the past 2 years.
Yeah, and that's why I bought like the 93 jersey. I suspect the early 90s stuff will come back eventually. But then right after that was the Fisherman stuff. And I sold one. I had two Fisherman jerseys. I sold one, and then I bought the Wave jersey because I always wanted one of those. And I sold mine for essentially the same price as I bought this other one.